Hey, and happy Tuesday to you guys. Happy New Year. Hope everybody had a great Christmas holiday and that their New Year's off to a good start. And hopefully you've done better than me at keeping your New Year's resolutions. But I wanted to get to the first update of the year for these monthly market updates. And I want to start with a word of advice to the sellers. We hit buyers in December, so we'll hit sellers to start the new year. But one thing you've probably noticed if you've been paying attention to interest rates or talk about real estate, is that interest rates have had an impact on the real estate industry over the last few months. They've been fluctuating. I'm not going to sit here and quote rates to you, talk to your loan officer, but they haven't had an impact, right? So, word of advice to sellers, I'm having this conversation on listing appointments these days, during negotiations these days, is at least consider making some closing cost concessions to help a buyer for your home buy down their interest rate. This isn't always doable. It's not always possible. It's not always fun, but it is a creative and proactive way to enable buyers to buy your house. Back when interest rates were 2, 3%, a buyer could throw a great offer your way without even thinking about it because they were getting, felt like free money from the bank. Well, now as rates hit 6, 7, 8% over the last quarter, being able to help that buyer buy their rate down helps them afford your home. All right. So with that said, I will share my screen and kind of hit the market data for the month. Overall, what we're kind of looking at is more or less a steady market at the moment. So first thing we want to look at is inventory levels. That's what drives things like prices, days on the market, how popular homes in our area are. What we're looking at is between 2.1 and 3.0 month supply across the region. Henderson and Buncombe on the low side of that at 2.1 and 2.2. Transylvania and Haywood on slightly higher side of that at 2.5 to 3. If you've watched these videos over the previous months, you'll know that anything 3 and under is a seller's market. Anything over 3 starts to favor buyers a little more. What these numbers mean, for if you're not a math nerd like me or a real estate nerd like me, is that inventory levels are still a little bit low. So there's still more people trying to buy a house than there are homes available. That's driving things like days on market. We're seeing things stay pretty much consistent. Last month, if you recall, things were lasting between a week and a half and 2 weeks on the market on average when priced appropriately, no issues with the house, that kind of thing. This month, we're looking at pretty much the same thing. The typical home in Henderson and Buncombe County lasts 9 to 10 days. If everything's priced right, looks good. Transylvania and Haywood, right up there about the 2 week mark, is how long you can expect that home to last on the market that you're looking to buy or that you're looking to sell. Next thing we're looking at is percentage of original price. This is kind of how much off of the list price can you expect that home to sell. Again, you'll see pretty much flat numbers for the past several months. What we had was an abnormally hot market through 22 and 23. And now things have just kind of stabilized out a little bit, which is healthy and good and honestly has been needed. But what you're pretty much seeing is in Henderson and Buncombe, they're pretty much right there in the 98 and change percent of sale to list price ratio. So if a house is listed for $500,000, it's just an easy round number to use. You can expect it to sell within 1 or 2% of that price. So somewhere in the 490s to 5 is pretty much what a $500,000 house is going to sell for in Asheville or Hendersonville. Transylvania and Haywood County match each other at 96.5%. So you've got about 3.5% difference in sales price to list price. So if that same $500,000 house is listed in Waynesville or Brevard, it might sell for somewhere in the 480s, 485, 490, somewhere in that range. Last thing we're looking at is sales price. And again, you see like here in 22, things were going up consistently month over month. Now things in 23 and into 24 have kind of plateaued a little bit. Prices are holding pretty proud in the region. Things are still getting more valuable year over year, but it's not quite the 10, 12, 15% a year that we were seeing the past few years. So as we start the year, your typical home in Buncombe County is selling right there around $480,000. Typical home in Henderson County, 440, Transylvania at 450, and Haywood at 370, which is remarkably close to where we were at last month. So overall, we're seeing kind of a stable winter market. Things selling still well, but the bidding wars of the past have kind of changed a little bit. Interest rates have a lot to do with that. Inventory levels are still low, but there's your quick snapshot of the market this month. If I can help you interpret that data, to you, your house, and your financial situation, just give me a shout. And I hope you have a great day and a great month.